Hello, this is Catherine Dubberly, the Answer Lady. I'm a big fan of Kiss Looms. I greatly enjoy mine, and I am cooperating with Kelly at Kiss Looms to make you a playlist of all the basic techniques that you might ever want to know on all of the looms. So welcome and enjoy.
Let's pretend that I want to cast on for a scarf, and based on the scarf discussion we had a minute ago on another video, I've decided on 22 stitches. So we have 19, 20, 21, 22 pegs that I'm going to need to cover. Now, my very favorite cast on requires 3 times the length on the loom that we're going to cover. And I tend to want to be a little generous for safety. So I'm lengthening it, knotting a loop into the end, and that's how we started. This is the long tail cast on, and it's my favorite because it makes, I think, probably the neatest edge. Loop goes on peg 1. Yarn supply is over here. This is the short tail. It's pretty long because it's 3 times the length, but it's not as long as the yarn supply. Use that to E-wrap the next peg. Do the normal U-wrap, U as in umbrella. Knit that over. That's the E-wrap I'm knitting over. Now gently tighten the strand that was the E-wrap and E-wrap the next peg. U-wrap, knit the E-wrap over the U-wrap, tighten up. E-wrap, U-wrap, knit the E over the U. See how loose it is in there? That's why I tighten up. Do not be tempted to do all the E-wraps and then all the U-wraps. Like that, it's going to make a very messy edge because you won't get to do the tightening stitch by stitch. I know this is tedious, but it gets a really nice edge on your scarf right away. And the thing about a scarf is even more than a sweater, those ends are very much in view. In a sweater, the bottom is down by your hips. Maybe you can induce people not to look. But a scarf is right there in your face, literally. So let's make our edge neat. And the long tail cast on, so-called because we're using this long tail, is such a nice way to do it. Now I'm going to keep on knitting all the way around to this point. But to save your extreme boredom, I'm not going to make you watch the whole thing. I will pick up with you when I'm over here so you can see going around the corner. I've cast on my 18th stitch and I'm ready to round the bend. Some people find this a little bit confusing, so let's do it together and then you won't. As usual, I'm wrapping behind the pins and around the pegs. This pin refers to this peg. So I come around behind it, wrap as usual, around behind it with the second strand, and knit over. No mystery. And we're already around the corner. E-wrap, U-wrap, knit over. And I believe this to be my last or second to last. 19, 20, 21, 22. This is the last stitch that I need to cast on. There we go. And you can see, though I was generous, my yarn tail has gotten much, much shorter, and that's why I was generous. You're never quite sure how much you're going to consume. Now, at this point, I'll just drop the short tail out of the way. It's done its job, and all I need for it to do is stay out of the way until we're done. And then we'll snip it a little shorter and weave the remainder in.